challenge for Saga after that. So, what is Saga? Well, we know it's a kind of coalition, a union for actors and media workers. And something we wanted to do is we know that there are a lot of documents, especially from the 70s to 80s, and they keep getting updated over the years. And at some point, like they get overrated. Like we have things from the 70s, they're being overrated in the 90s, in the 2010, 2015. There are so many documents that like lawyers are not able to find what is the right thing. We have contradictions over the documents. So that leads us to Better Call Saul. That's our idea. We stole the logo, of course. Our services, what do? Well, we have red lines, cross-refs, original section links. We have all these documents over the years. These are thousands of pages, mind you. And we have AI to not only like be able to tell the user and answer questions of the user, especially lawyers, but they're also able to find the most up-to-date version of clauses. And if they're unsatisfied, they're able to see the old versions as well and get the context. So we're gonna go continue now. How we're different. I think we'll skip this. Can you go to the demo real quick? Sorry, we're low on time, so we're gonna go really quick. Just show them our demo. So this is it. You upload documents. This is fully functional. You upload documents to our website, and then you go to a dashboard. It tells you information based on said documents. So all these 12 documents are pertaining to the same thing. These are all for live action television contracts. However, like I said, over the years being changed again and again and again. So this is information we're getting based on all of those documents, the latest information. And now, if you go grab a chatbot, if you go to the next tab, so press enter. Why don't you press enter? We want to see the liability for background actors and injuries based on original contracts and the addendums. Well, not only are we getting the latest answer, the most up-to-date answer, we're getting 2021, 2024 period, but we're getting the other documents too. So if there are any contradictions, we'll be able to see it. And not only that, but we do get a citation. It says document 10, document 9. So we know which documents there are. We can go back and look at them if we are lawyers and we don't trust AI. So let's go back to the slideshow, and Yassine will talk a little bit more about our code until our time comes up.
Thank you. So the way that we're different from other platforms, right, is that number one, like we have verifiable answers linked to the original text, and we also have like a special agentic RAG backend that's specially tailored for this kind of content. Okay. So our mission is essentially to make it very easy for actors to understand their contracts and because these contracts can be hundreds of pages long and they have contradictions sometimes. So we basically simplify the process for them to understand the corpus of contracts and the legal jargon and navigate it very easily to understand what their rights are and what their compensations. The way that we did this is we basically chunked the documents and we state the relationships between different chunks, and we include keywords, summaries, and other contexts so it's very easy for the agents to get to answer questions.
All right, any questions?
Any questions?
I have two. First, how big of a problem space is this? It seems like very niche. And second, who's the intended user?
So it is a very niche problem, but it has an unmet need, right? Like there is a market need for a product like this. The intended user for this would be like an actor, for example, onboarding with a new agent, and they have this 500-page long document handed over to them with like 10 different addendums, right? So instead of having to spend weeks and hire lawyers and figure stuff out, they could use our tool to save time.
Also, after talking to our very helpful mentor, he also told us this is very scalable to other fields as well. So not just for specifically SAG-AFTRA, but any other industry, for example, maybe personal injury or maybe some kind of finance tech firm. It's kind of a scalable idea.
How do you technically figure out most recent contract? Like how are you implementing that?
Yeah, so basically the way that it works is we have a bunch of metadata stored in each one of these chunks, and we have an agent fetch like many different of these chunks. It's not just one chunk that it fetches at a time. And the agent has multiple iterations of fetching documents and getting summaries and getting metadata, right? So it will eventually be able to determine like what is the most recent chunk and like get the answer to the user's question from that.
Did you experiment with different chunking or different parsing algorithms?
We tried to use different chunking algorithms and a lot of them didn't work out, so we just did a very simple and naive, like character limit. We said, okay, like just, get 5,000 characters and attach some metadata to it. Like we didn't have enough time, unfortunately, to.
And sorry, you said it didn't work out. How did you assess that?
Like we didn't get the results that we were expecting.
Thank you. Next is Q&A.